Recently, Think Drunk, an indie development studio, released their new roguelite RPG Hellcard into early access on Steam. The studio is responsible for a Book of Demons, a dungeon crawling hack and slash deck builder game that has arrived in mod positives on Steam for the first entry of indie developer. The Hellcard takes place in the same world as Book of Demons and uses the same unique graphics, isometric, paper card characters, and enemies. But well, you wanna hear more about this game? Then I would like to ask you to be subscriber of my channel because I feel like you're already 1 minute into this video and you're wondering, oh, this guy really is spitting some facts and the game really looks fun. So why wouldn't you subscribe here? I think it's your time. Please press that button and we will continue. I'm still waiting. You did that. Thank you. So let's continue in the place where we stopped. So Hellcard takes place in some kind of world, like I said, in the Book of Demons. If some of you didn't play, it was a really very fun game, and I think it deserved a little bit more praise, but, well, whatever, it's just a pass now. However, unlike the Book of Demons, hardcore players will really enjoy this new Hellcard game, because it's more like a roguelite with the deck building mechanics and its unique combat system, called Slices, that sets apart from the other roguelikes. The game's story limited to the context of the world, where the players are heroes of the team heroes traveling through the typical fantasy world to defeat the final boss at the end of the dungeon or world map. While the lack of the story isn't really kind of like a mixed bag of something like that, it's a very interesting thing that, especially in a single player mod, you can understand that the gameplay is really very cool and roguelite here. It has a lot of success and failures combined, but, well, we will speak more about this now. Co-op mod here shines really very well. The combat system is really fairly straightforward for a roguelite game. At the start, you each run a player choices of the classes, warrior, archer, or a mage. Once a run story starts, your character will occupy a circle of center of a level surrounded by enemies. You will draw by 5 cards at the start of your turn from a deck that your character starts with. Then in turn of the base combat, you will play these cards using the same energy resources. The player is able to use this kind of like cards few times, which is very interesting here. To see the action of enemy will take on their turn and understand. Then in turn-based combat, for example, you will play with these cards using the energy resources. The player is able to use and see what actions enemy will take on their turn, and you must plan actions accordingly. For example, prioritizing killing enemies that will attack or the characters on their turn. At the end of the combat, you're rewarded with a new card and the primary character decks, cash, and sometimes an opportunity to recruit an NPC to your adventuring team, randomly generated from the available classes, options that you have unlocked. For example, these NPCs will also increase their numbers of enemies in face of you. After a fight, you will receive a lot of rewards for the combat. You have an option to spend the cash before you choose the pass, or you will follow the next fight. Choosing your pass will decide what type of enemies you will face on in the next room, as well as the options that you have to spend on your cash on after. Options what you are spending the cash including active arts, new cards, healing, getting rid of cards, applying the cards, upgrading the cards, and everything like that, but only in your primary character's deck. That you cannot affect NPC's deck or other cards. NPC's deck cards are automatically upgraded as you develop. For example, very important here is when you're playing with co-op to kind of mix what you're doing and what your friend is doing. The audio design is Hellcard is one of the things that it's really not easy to understand. With the majority of the sounds and excellent sound design, it kind of lacks music. Yes, the background music here is kind of, well, it doesn't exist at all. For the log nightness, you need a good background track, and it's not a huge thing, especially with the games that is still in early access, that you can add and tweak these things. I think there is a lot of things that the Hellcard can add and create a bigger system in the game, but overall so far, so good. Yes, there is a lot of things like saying that the servers are lagging sometimes and some animations are not that good, but again, this is all of the things that can be fixed. And it seems like here the studio will be really more interested in the game more than the Book of Demons. At least I have a feeling of that. After each fight you will get this kind of rewards that will make you feel like you want to play more and more and more. It's